I said none of that.
Bing bong. We're here. We're back. We're not live because we don't do that anymore. You hear me, Kev? We don't do that anymore.
I said we don't do that anymore.
This is the CineBoiz podcast. Welcome to the CineBoiz podcast, part of the Cork Bats podcast network. If you don't know what Cork Bats is, be sure to follow them on social media at Cork Bats on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And you can also visit youtube.com/corkbats. And then, of course, there's also corkedbats.com, where you can find all your favorite Cork Bats content, including our reviews. We're going to have a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 review up soon. And yeah, we are the CineBoiz, the movie, TV, and gaming branch of Cork Bats. You can keep up with us on social media at CineBoiz on Twitter and Instagram. I just learned how to make reels and stories. So like
watch out world.
Yeah, look out. I just figured like it took me an hour to figure out how to make that Dune one like last week, but I know how to do it now.
I'll say it. There's too many different things that are exactly the same, but are just different on all platforms. Everything, TikTok's ruined everything. It used to be so simple.
Well, now YouTube has the
shorts.
The shorts,
which are
put
just
our stuff up on now.
Reels, which are just TikToks.
Yeah.
So
it's great. I love it. I love where we're headed. But yeah, you can keep up with us on social media, like I said, at CineBoiz on Twitter and Instagram. Maybe we'll get a TikTok. We probably
There's a rumor that Elon's bringing fleets back, so we might be getting those.
What in the hell is a fleet?
It's Reels, but just for Twitter, basically.
Right. Okay. I guess that's cool.
They came out shortly after Instagram stories.
Yeah.
Because, like Kevin said, they just take everything from everywhere.
Mm-hmm. People hated them, so they took them away.
Well, it's like, I feel like every single one of those like social media companies is like, hey, the way we compete with the other social media companies is being exactly like the other social media companies.
It is crazy.
Yeah. That's why I'm only on Truth Social.
Right.
Just kidding. But yeah, guys. 3 of us here today. Tom cannot join us. That's all right. We'll see Tom in the future. But we'll start with Nashville Mob.
Howdy.
How you doing? Good to see you.
I'm good.
Let me ask you.
We don't have many howdies left in our future.
No, dude. What are you gonna do once you relocate back to the land of corn?
Don't know. We'll have to figure it out when we get there. It'll be a feeling thing, kind of like Howdy was, but
Howdy, show me.
Maybe I just keep it as an homage to my 1 year in this wonderful, wonderful city.
Was that sarcastic or
no? I love Nashville. I understand it. I get the appeal.
I get it. He gets it. That's how I feel about Austin. Like I'll say something to people, like people be like, "So like, how do you like Austin?" I'll be like, "I love it," and they're like, "Are you being sarcastic?" And I'm like, "No, it's like literally the city that I feel like I was meant to live in. Like it gets me as a person."
Like Kate and I have talked about it. If we didn't want to be close to family and if it weren't so freaking expensive, this is probably where we'd want to be.
Yeah.
But those two factors, like the difference in money is astounding.
Yeah.
So,
well, let me ask you this.
Astounding.
What are you big on?
I am big on.
Good question.
I am big on young athletes doing things to blow the minds of the olds.
Heck yeah.
We need more of it. So baseball is a dying sport. I love it. My Cardinals suck, and it's wonderful.
You stole mine. But
here's the thing. I am now a Rays fan.
Yep.
And Wander Franco is the shortstop of the Rays. And this week, he fielded a ground ball, took the ball out of his glove, spun it in the air, caught it, and threw the guy out at first.
Love it.
More of that, because one, it really pisses off the olds.
The olds.
And two, it really pisses off the olds. Yeah. So I want more of that.
Yeah. Plus his name's Wander Franco. What a sick name.
Yeah, right? Dude.
Like anything that makes me go, wow, that was cool. I'm for it.
Yeah.
Was it disrespectful? Absolutely.
Sure. Who cares?
Sports needs more disrespect.
Is it fun? Like,
yes.
That's the thing, is all these olds are so anti-fun. And it's like, just like, stop trying to be so right. Try to be happy for once. Like that's my advice.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Let steroids back in. You know?
Who Honestly, gives a shit? If a guy wants to shrink his balls so he can hit a few more dingers for my enjoyment, let him.
Exactly.
Not a sports podcast. Well, Mob, man, I'm glad you're here. I feel like your energy is good today. It's on point, and it's just going to be a great day. I'm excited. Kevin, how are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for asking.
What are you big on?
I'm gonna quick pivot because Mob stole my big on.
Damn it.
Because we have the same brain sometimes. My brain is the same as Mob's if mine was like glass half full and his and then mine is glass half empty. That's basically the gist of it.
Kate this week looked at me and goes, "Sometimes I think of you and Kevin as Troy and Abed."
Dude, that's a compliment. Oh
right. And
gosh.
she said, are you, I was like, that's the nicest thing you could have said about
so
us.
Nice. Thank you,
Fine
Kate.
by me. Yeah.
Also, I think Kate sent me a postcard? Someone from Nashville sent me a postcard. Did you send me a postcard?
Yeah, we sent you a postcard.
Okay. There was no name on it. And I was like,
Right.
I'm pretty sure it's them, but not 100%.
Right.
Why?
So we went to a restaurant and they just leave a postcard on the table. And he was like, hey, if you fill this out, put an address on it, we'll send it.
Nice.
That's amazing.
So we put Kevin and Amy's address on it and said, shut up about the sun. Shut up about the sun.
It's on my fridge.
Didn't sign. Kate was like, who should we put it from Theo? And I was like, no, put it from no one.
I was like, I'm 99.9% sure this is from Mob and Kate, but I was racking my brain to make sure I didn't know anybody else from Nashville.
Well, I made her write it so that it wouldn't
That's
be
what
in my
threw me
chicken
off.
scratch.
That's what threw me off. And I was like, I think they would do this, but I don't know. Kate might not. It twisted my brain.
100% Kate's idea.
That's great.
I love that.
Mind twister.
I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah.
What you're big on?
What's your big on? What are you big on?
So, two things, I suppose. I bought a tree yesterday. We're getting a tree planted in my front yard. So I'm big on saving the earth via tree. We have a front yard with not a lot of shade, and we were just like, what if we bought a tree? Trees are expensive, guys.
Yeah, they
know
are.
that?
They're not cheap.
Yeah.
And then if you want them to deliver it and plant it, it's like 60% of whatever the tree is what the cost is to deliver and plant it. And I was like, well, I can't lift a finger because I'm dainty, so I have to have you do this. So I'm getting an autumn blaze maple. It should be very beautiful in the fall. Foliage.
Sounds great. Well, Kevin Keith,
That's how you know you're 30 or older as you start thinking about foliage in the fall.
Kevin Keith, world-class arbor man. Who would have thought?
Yeah. But really,
did you celebrate Arbor Day?
Privately, of course.
Right. Okay.
I don't like to publicly celebrate, the big holidays like Arbor Day.
Yeah.
But secondly, I think Marvel's back.
I don't think you're wrong.
It was kind of just a one-off, but I saw Guardians yesterday and Kenny saw it. And it was I really enjoyed it. I forgot the Guardian movies are just really good.
We'll
really
definitely
enjoyable.
we'll
talk
hop into
about
it. We got a lot of Guardians content for you today. I think it's going to be a fun day.
Is it back?
Is it back? People are asking.
Well,
Kevin,
whispering.
Glad you're here, man. I like your energy today. I feel like you're really bringing the right energy today.
I think I usually don't. So
yeah. You know who always brings the energy? The good energy is Tom.
I know. Maybe we're compensating.
Yeah, we're all bringing our best energy to make up for it. I'm glad you're here.
Tell me what you're big on.
I will. I got a couple things. The first thing is Jedi Survivor came out last week. Star Wars game, which I played Fallen Order, loved it. Survivor came out. I know that it's been plagued with issues. Yes, Mom?
Question.
I just got a quick question for the people. Do you need to play Fallen Order before you play Jedi Survivor?
So here's the thing. I would recommend it.
Okay.
There is at the beginning of Survivor like a recap of what happens in Fallen Order. And it honestly, I feel like it probably would just confuse you more than illuminate you as to what's going on with the story. Because it's just like quick clips of like dialogue or like cutscenes from the original game that doesn't really piece together very well. But technically, no, you don't have to play it. But I would recommend it because
that's what YouTube's for.
Fallen Order was probably like my surprise that year when it came. I think it was like 2019. Like my surprise game of the year. Yeah, like I did not expect it to be good. Somebody said, "Hey, you should still play it." I played it and I absolutely loved it.
I heard it was really hard, and I don't like to fail at things.
Well, you can play it on a really easy difficulty if you want, but I feel like what makes it
like
fun is like it's very much a grindy, like try again game where you just get better and better and better as you grind.
I like to be really good immediately, and if I'm not good at it, then I don't like to do it.
Well, there is the easy option. You can do that with this game. You could do it with Fallen Order too.
I like to feel invincible when I'm mowing down my enemies.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I mean, essentially you have Fallen Order, which was great. Survivor came out. I know that there's been a lot of stuff about it being a lot of technical issues, especially on PC. I have not. I think the first day it came out, I had a little bit of slowness, but other than that, it plays fine. It looks great on my PlayStation 5. So yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it. I'm playing through it right now. I love it. It's a good time. The other one is that me and my wife are moving. So that's really cool.
Where to, Ken?
Yeah,
we're moving.
How far?
Down the hall and downstairs, and we're moving in 2 weeks, which is exciting. We have more space, and you'll like. I won't be like in my living room anymore when you watch the VOD on YouTube. Like I'll be in an office, which is fantastic. Man, very excited about that.
I can't wait for more space.
Do more space. Love it. Love it. Space is great.
I too will have my own office.
Dude,
is it the dungeon room in the basement?
Yep.
That's going to be sick. You're going to have so many cool lights down there. It's going to be so cold. Basements are so cold. It's the best.
Dude, I remember basements.
Can't wait for you. Yeah, Texas doesn't have a lot of basements.
No, not a basement not a basement state.
Seems like they should, but
you get used to it. Like you don't really think like I feel like when I was living in Missouri, I thought in terms of basements. Yeah. And then after living here for 4 years, I just don't anymore.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be basements. like I haven't really thought about basements. Like I'll think, man, those days with basements, they were good. But like then I go on about my day. Yeah, I have a feeling once I get back and I have a basement, I'm going to be like, how did I ever live without this?
There's nothing like a cloudy fall day in a basement, watching football, eating some chili or something. Holy smokes.
Yeah, the thing about our basement is my office is going to be down there and there's going to be nothing else for a good while. Nice. So a lot of nice roll around room.
Yeah, that is the thing about upgrading space when you're like relatively young is you realize like how much shit you don't have. And that like, well, I probably need
how
to fill
expensive everything is.
Oh gosh. Yeah, when you get a basement, you're like, oh shoot, I have to furnish another living room. What is this?
Right. Our plan is like we're gonna go in increments. We're like, so right now we live in a 1-bedroom apartment, and the next apartment is a 1-bedroom with a den. So it's not even a 2-bedroom. But it's just enough more space where we can fill it out reasonably. And then the next time we move, it just get incrementally bigger and do the same thing.
That frog jump.
Yeah, we made a big jump. So
I understand. I feel like going from Nashville to Kansas City is as far as space goes for the price, you're just going to make a big jump.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Plus, what townhouse to like standalone house? You're gonna up the square footage there.
Yeah, a lot more to take care of as well. But I'm sure you're excited. Anyways,
that's a little life update from the fellas.
Yeah. So we're gonna get into some Guardians content today. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 came out yesterday. We will have a review up soon. We might have a 3 Big Things podcast coming. Not confirmed, but could happen within the next week. So just be on the lookout for that. But we have two big things on Guardians of the Galaxy that we want to talk about. The first thing, though, before we get to Guardians of the Galaxy, is we have not talked about the results of our Nick Cage draft. So we had our Nick Cage draft, I think it was 3 weeks ago now. Damn, dude.
Boy.
That's a long time ago. But we did have a Nick Cage draft. We all drafted movies, Nick Cage movies. And I don't want to brag because usually I don't feel like I should. But, man, I ran away with it. I killed it. I won the Twitter vote, I won the Instagram vote, and I ran away with the Google vote. So I just want to say quick congratulations to me for winning the Nick Cage draft. And you can also check out our posts on the Nick Cage draft on corkbats.com. Should still be up there. Do you guys have any comments? Do you guys want to praise me?
I'll speak for myself and say that you absolutely won. It wasn't even close.
It wasn't really a question, unfortunately.
Yeah, but if you think I picked Crudes and was trying, then you're insane.
I always try.
I could go back and do it over, I would have taken National Treasure as my 1-1 and not even thought twice, because that's where my heart is.
And I feel like you would have gotten a lot more love.
I probably would have.
Yeah. And had you done that, Kenny wouldn't have been able to get Con Air and The Rock back to back, which is what won.
Yeah.
That's what
The Rock is what I knew. Yeah, people love The Rock.
Dude, The Rock.
People love both those movies.
Yeah, they're both very much like dad movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your dad probably loves those movies. Yeah.
And if I could have picked Get in the Cage with Nick Cage, I would have picked it for every single pick. Just pick different episodes.
That's fair. But speaking of cool, awesome action stars, Chris Pratt, how about him? You know,
it's obviously Chris Pratt.
Obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy came out this week. Super Mario Brothers movie has made a ungodly amount of money at the box office. So here's the thing about Chris Pratt. You either love him or you hate him. And if you're like one of the weirdos like me, or probably you guys, you're really just kind of indifferent, which is probably the correct response to have about Chris Pratt. But he seems to have been, as of late, he's getting all of these roles that people just get really, really upset about. It could be because it's Chris Pratt. It could be because they feel like he doesn't fit the role. Who knows? But for instance, obviously the Mario movie, that was a big stink. Everybody threw up their arms. Garfield comes out next year. He's the voice of Garfield. I don't necessarily get it. It doesn't make me mad, though. Like, my life continues on either way. So I guess the real question would be, speaking of Chris Pratt, what role do you think you would not want to see Chris Pratt play?
Well, two things right off the bat. We were talking about this before the show, and honestly, Mario comes to mind first. I would never have cast Chris Pratt in Mario, or even Garfield for that matter. So he's just spitting right in my face. Man.
Can I say, though, that like Garfield actually, like,
it kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
right? But I just don't think of him as a voice actor. We're talking Andy
Dwyer.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. I love Andy Dwyer. Yeah. I loved Andy Dwyer. And then he kind of got oversaturated.
I think the consternation comes from the fact that he hit it big as Andy Dwyer, this big, lovable loser. Then he got ripped and just started doing Amazon action movies.
Yeah.
And people just don't like that.
Right.
They don't like seeing people succeed and get in shape and stuff like that. They want the lovable loser.
Yeah. It's like the scene in Air whenever like Matt Damon is going on that tirade about like how you're going to be the greatest, but like people are automatic. Like people at one point are going to make you
turn on you.
Be a villain.
Yeah. Well,
and it's kind of like, I don't even know if it's really that. It's definitely not to that level with Chris Pratt. That is not a comparison at all. Chris Pratt to Michael Jordan. Two completely. Yeah. Anyways. But I do feel like it is one of the things, like you were saying, where we knew him as Andy Dwyer, and Andy Dwyer may be one of my favorite characters in TV ever.
I think one of the most lovable characters too.
Yeah. And then he turns into like kind of serious, like in really good shape. I think,
but he's also still Chris Pratt all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
It led to one of the funniest like throwaway lines in any movie or any show where they had to explain him getting rid of all the weight.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I just stopped drinking beer.
Yeah.
Lost 50 pounds.
That's
so good and sort of relatable.
I feel like if, we'll kind of circle back to the roles we don't want to see Chris Pratt in, but like, I feel like if Chris Pratt had kind of stuck to the Andy Dwyer, even the Guardians of the Galaxy kind of Star-Lord character, like that those type of roles more, it works for him so great. I think the problem is that for me, when I see Chris Pratt starring in something now, I feel like I'm sure he's fine, but I guarantee that whatever that is not good. Like the Terminal List, like
I watched that on an airplane.
Yeah, no,
it was perfect airplane fodder. But that's about it.
Is that there's also is the Terminal List the movie or is that the show? There's a show.
I watched the show.
I watched the
Tomorrow
movie.
War.
Tomorrow War. It was exactly the kind of movie.
They're probably the same thing,
right? And then the quality of like the Jurassic Park movies, like that he's in, are just horrible. And he's not like he's a serious character in those too. So like,
was Guardians like the first? Is that why he got ripped, or was it Jurassic Park?
No, it was Guardians. Guardians.
So before the funny thing about him getting in shape for Guardians is that he didn't really need to be in shape.
No,
Star-Lord is always in like a leather coat.
He got ripped for something else. It wasn't.
There was Zero Dark 30. He played.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
he had a lot.
No, that was before he was big though.
Yeah, that was kind of a smaller role.
Because he was also in Moneyball, and people were like later went back and was like, "That's Andy Dwyer."
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about Moneyball.
He wasn't funny at all in Moneyball, which is funny to think about.
But he was also not like he was just
serious guy.
He was just a guy. Like he was just a guy. Like
he used to play
guy.
normal guys, and now he still kind of does, but in a very over exaggerated way.
Yeah. So my thing with Chris Pratt is like I think the quality of what he does now for the most part is not good. And so
he's on record as saying his whole goal acting is to make as much money as quickly as possible so that he can retire at 50 and sit on a porch and hang out with his kids.
That's fair.
Which I respect that. Like just get your chicken, as Marshawn would say.
Protect your chickens.
Yeah.
And sit on your porch and drink some iced tea.
Yeah. So I guess that would be if we're going to talk about like the role I at least want to see Chris Pratt in is like anything that is like what he's doing now. Like I don't want to see him in Tomorrow War. I don't want to see him in Terminal List. I want to see Chris Pratt in like goofier roles.
I was thinking something.
I'm trying to think of characters that are just so beloved.
I get, yeah.
And that would piss people off so much. And it's a weird thing to say because of the content the character produces, but like it's also been changed over so many times. What if you made him the Joker? People would flip.
People would lose their minds.
Or Batman.
Well, that's actually
Batman.
I was kind of going to go into that too with James Gunn taking over DC. Is like that's honestly like there is the chance of Chris Pratt going into a DC role.
But you could see the avenue of putting him as Batman because he's kind of like your classic American dude.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking no one like is really calling for this at all, but what if you made him like, so it's a goofy role, but make him Captain Jack Sparrow, just piss all over Johnny Depp's. I mean, people would hate that.
There was the talk a few years ago about him playing Indiana Jones.
That kind of makes sense to me, though.
No, but weirdly, any iconic character that you cast him in, people would just hate so much.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but he's getting those roles.
Right.
I know.
Well, here's the thing. Part. Regardless of like I said, it's very hot or cold with Chris Pratt, which I don't understand that. Like, I don't understand the people that really, really hate him. I don't understand the people that really, really love him. I don't get the two, hot and colds. I get the people that are like, I like Chris Pratt. I don't mind him. Like, he doesn't bug me. Like, he just isn't going to show up in a movie and ruin it for me. Like, that's kind of where I'm at.
You usually know what you're getting if he shows up in the movie as well at this point.
Right. And I lost my train of thought. I don't even remember.
Terminal List.
Yeah. Terminal
List.
Yeah. Tomorrow War.
Or
you get like roles that he's already established in Guardians of the Galaxy, which he's great in. Like that's what he's meant to be.
That's kind of to me, that's his perfect role.
It really is
goofy, and he's got some moments of seriousness in there, and he's the lead, and it's good. But
it's fantastic. Like, yeah, I'm with you. I think that is like when I think about Chris Pratt, like from like Andy Dwyer, yes, but when I think about Chris Pratt, I'm always going to think Star-Lord. Like that was the character I feel like he was born to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's kind of like, and it's different because there's so much love for him. But like Paul Rudd, he became a superhero, but he was still Paul Rudd.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Chris Pratt became a superhero, he's still Chris Pratt. But you don't see Paul Rudd going out and making, a war movie on Amazon because Paul Rudd knows his role and he's really good at it.
I think,
and I love him.
There's like the correlation or like where Chris Pratt is now. I know it's very different, but like it kind of reminds me of like The Rock. Like The Rock when he was like a pro wrestler was like very, very like hilarious and also like would say pretty offensive things. And now anything you see that comes from The Rock or Dwayne Johnson is extremely curated to make him look like a really good person. Yeah. And like I kind of get the same vibe from Chris Pratt, like PR wise now is like Chris Pratt is very much like he's no longer the goofy, like, say things that are funny but maybe offensive. It's very much like I'm a serious man.
It's a double-edged sword because if he went back to that, people would rip him apart, be like, look at this. I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like if you just like I don't know. He doesn't seem genuine anymore. I think that's the best way for me to put it.
It's just weird because you see him on these like, press junkets or whatever, and it's still Chris Pratt. Like he's still that Andy Dwyer. Like he's still messing around and doing all that stuff. But you're right, everything is curated for that, and it's like he's a robot.
Yeah,
what if he is a robot?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. He feels very robotic nowadays. We're like, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, is there any other roles?
AI's taken over.
What if he's just one of those secret Boston Dynamics robots this whole time?
That's awesome.
I don't know. Remake Schindler's List with him. See what happens.
Damn, dude. I think there's money to be made here. Let's look into that. Well, anyways, we're going to do something else with Guardians. It's our Guardians of the Galaxy week here at the CineBoiz podcast, part of the Cork Bats Podcast Network.
Marvel back.
We're going to do something we did one time like 3 years ago, and it was super fun and we enjoyed it, and then we just never did it again. And I don't know why.
We did it
I think
twice.
we did it twice.
Did we do it twice?
I don't remember what the second movie was.
I do.
Though.
Okay, so
what was it?
Essentially, we're going to recast Guardians of the Galaxy, like the whole like main cast for if Guardians of the Galaxy came out in the 1980s. So we're going to recast it. But I remember we originally did this with Lord of the Rings, and it was hilarious. And then
what was the other one, Mob?
I could give you guys 100 guesses. I don't think you would pull this movie out of your butts.
Give us like a hint or something.
Yeah. Sean Connery stars in it.
Oh, was it the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen? Yeah. Why did we pick that?
Because it was a bad movie.
Yeah, it was really bad. And then there's a lot of like characters that were like well known. Not the movie isn't very well known. I think the movie like made $10, but like the characters in the movie,
loved the movie in like 4th grade.
Right.
It was awesome.
All the characters in the movie were like Dracula, Frankenstein. Like, it made sense. Would we do that one again? Probably not. Lesson learned. But I feel like this one's going to be a lot better because people actually know what Guardians of the Galaxy is.
That was like we felt like we were in our bag and we went and did something super creative afterwards, and it flopped.
We were just so goddamn cocky back then.
We made our blockbuster money, so we went and did what we wanted with our project.
Right, one for them, one for us.
Yeah, and there's a reason we do one for them.
It's why we do all for them now, because one for us just doesn't work. But yeah, let's do it. Let's recast Guardians of the Galaxy if it came out in the 1980s. So I think we should maybe start with like somebody that's like maybe not the main character. We'll kind of save Star-Lord for last. Let's start with Mantis. Does that work? Who do you think we would cast in the 80s for Mantis? Here's the thing. Obviously, Mantis has played... where did she go? I know her name. I'm Palm Clemente. Is that how you pronounce it?
I don't know how to pronounce the last name, but yep.
And I feel like this character in the 80s, there was no way they would have an Asian woman play it.
Probably not. Probably all white people.
It would be a very whitewashed cast for Guardians of the Galaxy. So who do you think would play Mantis?
It's got to be someone not super famous or kind of previously unknown, right?
Well, we can make it whoever we want. We're recasting this. There's no budget.
There's no budget. We're about to go pitch this to like probably like Orion Pictures or some shit. So we're coming in cold. We're not connecting this to any other movies. It's a one-off. So we can cast whoever we want. It doesn't matter.
Sally Field.
Sally Field?
Yeah, okay. Sally Field.
Okay.
Why not?
Sally Field is Mantis. I see her more of like as a comedic presence in the film. Okay. So I would probably go with like, no, I'm going to save that name for later. I think I got a good one for Nebula. But yeah, Sally Field.
No, that's just the first name Mob could think of.
I think she fits the look. 80s Sally Field. You're thinking 80 for Brady Sally Field, and that doesn't work.
Yeah. I guess, I have to think 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't hop on me when you haven't thought this through.
I mean,
where's my I'm going to look up names on my phone.
Look, I'm not hearing anyone better.
What about Marissa Tomei? I love Marissa Tomei.
She's pretty young, though, but I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, she'd probably be in her 20s, right?
Probably like teens. Did she was young in the 80s? I think maybe if it's late 80s.
You're probably right. She might have been a teenager.
Well, those are good names. I was thinking somewhere along the lines of
Eddie
Melanie
White.
Griffith.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we circle back to this one.
Roseanne Barr. That's just who I think of.
I don't hate
the
it.
80s.
I don't hate it.
I do. You kidding me?
Well, let's okay. So I feel like of those three, we got Sally Field, Marissa Tomei, Melanie Griffith. I feel like Marissa Tomei is probably a pretty good fit.
She might be a little young.
Yeah, but that's okay.
We'll wait till the late 80s, let her mature, get a few other roles under her belt.
Yeah, we'll have her come in and read for Mantis. I think Marissa Tomei
we'll have her read.
now.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Groot.
Groot. Okay.
Here's a real question. If you're going to do Groot in an 80s movie, obviously we don't have CGI. How are we going to make Groot?
Oh, it's gonna look wonderful.
It's gonna be hilarious.
I say we bring Jim Henson
the actor's face might actually be shown.
Yeah,
it's like this.
Oh
you're gonna have it's gonna be this costume
with the hole cut out for the
face is gonna be painted
very like High School Musical type.
Right.
Well, here's my thought. I think for Groot and Rocket, I think obviously you're gonna have to do puppets. So we're going to have to bring in Jim Henson.
Okay.
And if we're bringing in Jim Henson's team, then I think the person that should play Groot is Frank Oz.
Okay.
I think we've casted Frank Oz in the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, but hear me out. What if it's Mel Gibson?
Dude, I had the same thought. Why did I have the same
for Groot?
I love it. I'm not going to lie. I love it.
It just like 80s Mel Gibson kind of makes sense.
I also had the thought of like Carl Weathers, just like a kind of a funny voice that it could like has some range.
It does need to be somebody like, Carl Weathers would be good. I do like the idea of Mel Gibson saying "I am Groot" and like it's the 80s, so he's still trying to hide his Australian accent.
Exactly.
Ooh,
I'm great.
I'm Groot.
I'm great.
I kind of like that. I kind of like that.
Mel Gibson. Okay.
What if Groot's just Australian in the 80s?
Right.
Why just let it?
What if we say just don't hide it, embrace it.
Yeah. Just go for it.
Be you, but don't.
Yeah. I'm Groot. I'm Groot. Mel Gibson is Groot. In that case,
what if he doesn't go with any like graveliness in his voice? It's just Mel.
Mm-hmm.
is a guy.
I'm Groot. What about Nebula?
Gotta be kind of a cold voice.
I have an idea for Nebula, and it's a little bit different direction, but kind of the same vibe.
Okay.
I think Rhea Perlman from Cheers.
Oh, okay. I haven't thought about.
But she's just like Carla from Cheers as Nebula. Like she's not like cold robotic. She's just like the wisecracking, waitress kind of vibe from Cheers.
That doesn't fit at all.
Hey, who says it has to fit? I just like it.
I mean, you're not. I guess you're right there.
Look,
I was thinking Jessica Lange for some reason. She's got like a cold, kind of scary voice.
Do you think we could? I feel like we could get Jessica Lange for our movie. She's probably offer only, but
yeah.
But if we can't, what about Sigourney Weaver?
Another solid.
That actually is really good.
It's another solid suggestion.
I feel like my Rhea Perlman suggestion is trash now.
Maybe a little bit.
Maybe we'll have her play Rocket.
No, I have an idea for Rocket.
All right, so I do like Jessica Lange or Sigourney Weaver.
I say we bring them both in to read, and we have them audition and see who.
Dude,
we like.
you know Jessica Lange in the 80s is still too good to read.
You're probably
offer only.
You're probably right.
So maybe we bring in Sigourney, see how we like about her, and if she just doesn't fit, it's Jessica's.
Right. I feel like Sigourney Weaver is actually perfect for this role.
I could see it.
She's already shaved her head. We know that she'll do that.
Honestly, kind of looks like her.
Kind of a hard ass. I think that's the right call.
All right. I like that.
All right.
I'm good with it.
Sigourney Weaver as Nebula. I think that's
Congrats, Sigourney.
We're solid on that.
Yeah.
What about Rocket? Let's get into Rocket. Rocket Raccoon.
What did we think Chris Pratt was doing in the 80s?
Well, Rocket's Bradley Cooper.
No, I know.
So
Trying
why? You're trying to get Chris Pratt into the movie. I see what you're doing.
Okay. He's probably like a little older than us, maybe.
Yeah, I think he's probably like 40 or 38, something like that.
Yeah, he's not that much older than us, so
probably
just
7.
hanging out, playing with Ninja Turtles and shit.
So Bradley Cooper, who would that translate to?
Again, get someone who's already played his father on screen.
De Niro?
Robert De Niro.
De Niro is Rocket. I don't hate it.
Seems too serious, doesn't he?
Pacino.
One of those two.
If we're gonna go that route, I think
seriously.
we should take the crazier route with Pacino.
Don't they both seem too serious?
Didn't Bradley Cooper seem too serious? Well, I guess he did.
No, he did The Hangover. That was
just imagine.
But he had already transitioned to his I'm gonna get nominated for Oscars that I deserve, but not win part of his career.
What if we did like a funny version where he's like kind of weirdly proper, like what's the guy's name? Shoot.
Michael Caine?
No.
Weirdly proper? Are you saying like English?
F. Murray Abraham is who I was thinking of.
Dude, F. Murray Abraham just got canceled, bro. But I guess this is the 80s.
What did he do? Shoot, I don't even know.
Something sexual.
Okay.
Was he
out.
Was he basically his character from White Lotus?
I do I mean, F. Murray Abraham, probably fresh off of Amadeus, ready to do something a little out of left field.
Doesn't Bill Murray kind of feel like he could be serious but also like silly?
Actually, that'd probably be a good fit.
Yeah, don't they? I mean,
it would be a good fit.
It's a puppet, but he does the voice.
You brought
he's got
Pacino.
a distinct voice too, or even like a Steve Martin.
Think of Pacino in that raccoon that steals legs. Yeah, like it's.
I kind of like now that you've done that. I like the visual. Okay, I think I'm sold.
all in on Pacino.
I think I'm sold.
I like Pacino too. I feel like that's the right call.
Okay, you won me over.
Because he's crazy.
Yeah, and he has like Rocket in the current iteration of Guardians of the Galaxy does kind of have like a New York accent or like northeastern accent.
Yeah,
and I feel like
he's got that energy about him. He's very aggressive and
we'll make sure to let De Niro know that he was considered and we gave it to Pacino.
I'm gonna get that on.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's the right vibe. That's the right vibe, I think. What about Drax? Drax the Destroyer.
Drax has such a weird energy. It's hard to pin down, but I love it. So just in my brain, this is really funny. Christopher Walken voice coming out of Drax and his character, just like kind of an idiot. Can he do a Drax line in Walken so I can visualize it or hear?
Oh, that's it. That's all I'm going to give you. I don't know. I'm not.
It's not a good suggestion. It just made me chuckle thinking about it.
I don't.
It's not good.
Here's Kevin. Here's what I'm saying. I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it,
and I don't.
In fact, I hate
at
it.
all. I was thinking you got to get some. Obviously, you need to get somebody big, and this is the era of big, bulky, steroid fueled actors.
Stallone.
Maybe Stallone.
What if you just did Hulk Hogan?
Maybe Hogan.
Just pick another wrestler.
Not a bad idea.
I kind of like that.
If it's like late 80s, like that's like when Hogan's like, "Hey, I'm going to start acting." I do like it. I don't know.
Here's the problem, simple enough for him to deliver,
right? But I feel like he would want to. Like Hogan is more of like he's like, I want to be the star.
Yeah,
and I don't.
That's
know.
the beautiful thing about him is that he doesn't. He's actually a really good actor.
Hogan was
not Hulk.
Hogan was like primed to become the first like Rock. I know, like, dude, I could write a book on this. He was like set up, like he was like done wrestling. He was gonna star in movies, and he started acting, and then he got offered a insane contract to come back and wrestle, and he took it. And
what about like
Nick Nolte?
That's not bad.
I was thinking like Lou Ferrigno.
Or What about like Mickey Rourke? He's big and jacked.
Not really. Not
But
like back then.
I guess he wasn't.
Lou
then.
Ferrigno's already the Hulk. Does he want to,
No,
already?
I
He's
don't
already
think he
in the
would.
Marvel universe.
But like nobody, here's the thing. Let's be honest. If you're making this movie in the 80s, it's
not
going to
gonna
be something
be-
that's not connected to anything else. They have no plans to make a Marvel Cinematic Universe. They just want to make money. Nobody's going to know Guardians of the Galaxy is Marvel for the most part, unless you are a Marvel fan at this point. So like, I don't think like people are going to be too upset if he's the Hulk on TV and in the movie he's Drax.
What if you go kind of like in between big and ripped and like just like a skinny? You go like Kurt Russell or something like that.
Don't go that route.
Okay,
And you'll.
I know why. Okay,
Yeah.
But that's I okay. I didn't mean to throw out his name specifically. I was using him more of like a prototype. That kind of
I don't like
guy.
that prototype. How dare you?
Okay, what if we just go opposite and just do like John Malkovich? He could deliver lines with some
he's
pizzazz.
He's Xandu, right? The whistle guy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's him.
I like that already. Cast that right now.
Let's skip over to Xandu right now.
Yeah, we'll come back.
John Malkovich.
We'll come back. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's good.
I mean, you probably could also still use Michael Rooker, but we're recasting.
Right. I was thinking that earlier.
No,
It's like
actually,
he was around in the 80s, but I think he was a lot young. Well, I know he was a lot younger. That's just how time works.
Also, we're recasting. So
Yeah. John Malkovich. I love it. I think Drax, you got to go somebody big. Here, okay, I got it. It's not Hogan. It's Jesse the Body Ventura. Yeah. Like he's like showing up in movies in the 80s. He's kind of a big bulky guy. Kind of sounds stupid.
Ventura. I'm trying to picture what he
Jesse
looked
Ventura?
like in the 80s.
You don't know who Jesse Ventura?
No, I know
Have you
who he
seen
is.
Predator?
In the 80s, he was big and ripped. He had a mustache. That's cool, I guess.
I like Drax with a mustache.
Dude, I love Jesse
That'd be
Ventura as
cool.
Drax.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Because he's not like too famous.
Yeah. He's not gonna cause a
try
stink
and-
on this star-studded cast.
He's
Yeah,
more
that's
well
true.
known for his at this point, he's more well known for being a wrestler.
Yeah.
And he's also not like the most famous wrestler. So I feel like it's
So
a
he's
perfect
Batista.
fit.
Yeah, that works. That works.
My God. How did it take us this long to get here?
Why didn't we just start naming wrestlers?
Yeah, we should have just well, I mean, we
I
just say
tried.
Hogan.
You kind of did, yeah.
But I went with The Rock instead of Batista, and we all know Batista is the better actor.
Batista's the best, period. I put it on
Batista's
the board.
so
Batista
damn
is
good.
the best wrestler turned actor of all time.
It's not even close.
Now, he's obviously not the biggest
Yeah.
box office draw,
No,
but
he's
there's no question he's the best actor of any
legitimately
wrestler.
an actor.
Yes.
He is so good.
He's very good in everything he does.
I like to, man, remember how good he was in Blade Runner? I just love his little
And how good he is in Dune.
glasses.
Yeah, I think I'm going to
His little
rewatch Dune
glasses.
today.
I'm hyped for
And honestly,
the trailer
let's
got me
say it.
excited.
I know Mob hasn't seen it yet, but he's fantastic in Guardians 3.
I'm sure he is.
He's very good always.
He's
Yeah,
always been very good as Drax. No matter the quality of the movie, his Drax has always been awesome.
Yep.
Okay, so we got Drax, we got Xandu. Let's I
Who's
think
next?
at this point we got two more. Gamora.
Gamora.
Gamora's the leading lady, so we need to get a leading lady out
kind
there.
of a standoffish, serious.
Sharon Stone.
Could be. I don't like Sharon Stone that much. It's just kind of my hot take.
Yeah, I mean most people. I don't think they do, but big name.
Big name. To me, like Zoe Saldana was like a actress I feel like everybody knew of, but couldn't really like name a movie she was in or be like, I like her for this reason.
It is funny because she is. I think she's in like the 4 of the 5 highest grossing movies of all time,
I know.
which is hilarious.
Yeah. Well, you can't really tell who she is in any
Right?
of them.
She's in
green and
makeup
blue.
or CGI in all
Yeah.
those movies.
What about
Linda Hamilton,
who's Linda Hamilton?
Terminator.
Oh, I don't hate it. Don't
Michelle
hate
Pfeiffer.
Ah, I like that.
it.
I like that a
Pfeiffer's not bad.
lot. I think that's almost perfect. It might even be perfect.
Michelle Pfeiffer's not bad.
Michelle Pfeiffer. Yeah.
Not related to Mekhi Pfeiffer.
No, different Pfeiffers.
Uh-huh.
Two different Pfeiffer daddies.
Dame Judi Dench. That'd be funny.
Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner. Sybil Shepherd. No.
Sybil Shepherd. I mean,
I think Michelle Pfeiffer is the right call. That's
I like it.
They just
I like
hit my ear right, and I feel like that's the right vibe.
I think we cast Michelle Pfeiffer last time too. As somebody.
Yeah, because she's fantastic.
Big in the 80s.
Yeah,
she's fantastic. She's around in the 80s. She also played Catwoman.
Yeah.
Little known fact.
Little known.
Actually, that's a pretty well known fact.
I mean, I feel like that's one of her bigger roles ever.
It might be like her most well known role.
Yeah, that's what I think of when I think of her.
Oh man! All right. Well, that leaves the star of the show, Star-Lord Peter Quill.
All right, go ahead and say
Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I thought about this the other day when I was driving. It's like, who better? I mean, Kurt Russell is in.
He's in the second one.
It makes sense as far as like, hey, you would bring back Kurt Russell. Like, let's say hypothetically, our Guardians of the Galaxy 80s movie got made. Of course, you bring Kurt Russell back as a legacy character in the new Guardians of the Galaxy to play Star-Lord's dad. So he should play the original Star-Lord. It makes a total sense.
Is he a little too serious though?
No, dude. Like, think about. I mean, he can be. But think about
the only thing I would say is we should just consider. I understand, and I think Kurt Russell would be great, but we should consider one Jeff Bridges.
I'll write his name down. But here's the thing. Jeff Bridges would be good. You're right. I don't have anything against Jeff Bridges. I feel like maybe he is more serious than Kurt Russell though, because Kurt Russell, the movie I think of
Big Lebowski. That's like so unserious.
So the movie I think of for Kurt Russell, I think he'd be such a perfect fit for this role is Big
Overboard.
Trouble in Little China. Like that's exactly the vibe.
It is kind of the
Star-Lord.
same movie.
Yeah,
pretty close.
I think Kurt Russell is like perfect.
I had to throw Jeffrey out there. I know his reps.
Okay, well,
is he a little too famous?
Who, Jeff Bridges or Kurt Russell?
Kurt Russell at this time period.
Well, I think you don't have the internet.
That's
so
true.
You need a big name.
That's true. Kind of do.
To draw it in, you know? You're not going to get word of mouth for a movie where your star is a nobody. Unless it's like Star Wars.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm in on Kurt Russell, but I demand he keeps the mullet.
Oh, yeah. No
yeah,
question.
I think you go full 80s.
Yeah, I think that's great. Okay. I think we got it. So I'm going to run back through and I'm going to announce the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy 1987.
I wish we could have found a way to get like Eddie Murray in there or something. Some really good comic relief.
Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
He'll be the collector.
Yeah. He'll be like a side role.
Yeah. I guess he was just starting to really hit in the 80s.
Yeah. Okay, so here we go. Ready? Cast of Guardians of the Galaxy 1987. I'm assuming that's the year. That seems like a good year. Star-Lord, we got Kurt Russell.
Okay.
Gamora, Michelle Pfeiffer. Xandu, John Malkovich.
That's the best casting right there.
Yeah. Drax, Jesse the Body Ventura.
Jesse.
Rocket Raccoon, Al Pacino. Nebula, Sigourney Weaver.
It's a stacked movie.
Groot, Mel Gibson. Mantis, Marissa Tomei. I love this cast, but I'm going to go ahead and put you guys on the spot. Who do you think is the weakest cast member of Guardians of the Galaxy 1987? Mob, go.
Like, what do you mean? Like
the
casting or the character or
weakest
of
casting?
I think it's Marissa Tomei.
I think so too. I think we could figure out someone better. I also still really like Jessica Lange, but she's too big for us, so I understand. Man, yeah.
It's just
Marissa Tomei might be too young. Also, like I don't.
It's not an easy casting for the time.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to throw out a scenario here. We've started filming.
It's not working.
Our dailies on Marissa just aren't good. And we realize we've got ourselves a real Eric Stoltz situation on our hands, and we need to fire her. Who are we bringing in?
How old was Winona Ryder in the 80s? She more
about
of a
the same
90s
age.
gal.
It's Marissa Tomei.
She seems like she could be kind of airheaded enough if she needed to be. Because that's kind of what that's what that role is a little bit.
I can see it.
Or like,
Winona Ryder.
I don't know.
That's a tough one. Actually, you know what? I think I got one.
Okay.
Ali Sheedy.
I don't even know who that is.
From Breakfast Club.
Oh, see, I don't know that. It's not bad. It's not bad.
I think that's a good call.
She seems a little, I mean, she's serious enough, but also got some weirdness to her.
Aloof.
Yeah, aloof. That's maybe the word I was looking for.
Yeah. Mob, how do you feel about it?
I'm lost on this character. I take direction from you fellers.
Yeah, this is hard.
Yeah, I think this is I think maybe if we were to not have done one of these, I think Mantis would have been the one to cut. But hey, alas, here we are. I think Ali Sheedy's a good fit.
Yeah, I'll take it.
It's not bad.
Ali Sheedy replaces Marissa Tomei.
It's
we
not
just
bad.
liked her better. Yeah. All right, cool. Guys, we did it. Can we, I don't want to put you on the spot, but can we get some awful Photoshop?
Oh, I'm sure we can.
Okay. I would love to have an awful Photoshop of this cast. I'll send you the cast so you remember who it is. But you got it. Guardians of the Galaxy 1987. It's coming out. And
the trick is finding good photos of all these actors in the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Let's be honest. This movie's going to flop.
Yeah, it's ahead of its time.
It's way too ahead of its time.
These kinds of movies didn't work.
They just didn't. They really didn't. You need to give it another 30 years before it makes sense. So,
before it looks good enough.
Yeah. Well, guys, that pretty much brings us to the end of our time together today. What a fun episode. I miss Tom, though.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll certainly be back soon. Again, be sure to check out corkbats.com. We will have a review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 coming up soon. You can check us out on Twitter and Instagram at CineBoiz. Be sure to follow us there. Also, we're a podcast, so you can find us wherever podcasts are found: Google, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Please rate, review, subscribe. That goes a long way for us. And then you can also check out our video on demand. Yes, there is a video of this podcast. It is on youtube.com/corkbats. I think I always get that wrong. I don't think I've ever gotten that right off the bat. youtube.com/corkbats. I've always said corkbats.com/YouTube.
Wouldn't that be wild?
That would be wild.
Corkbats buys out YouTube.
Are we on a path to get there? Who's to say?
People are asking.
People are asking. But guys, you got anything else you need to say before we leave?
Fire Mo.
Yeah, dude.
Fire Mo.
Get rid of that.